If you're thinking about dropping 2 years and over $200,000 on an MBA this year, and your ROI calculation consists of some Google searches, a Reddit thread, and one conversation or two, and maybe just your gut feeling, you are playing roulette with the next 10 years of your career. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through how to think about MBA ROI in 2026 and why the right answer is much more nuanced and subjective than any rankings list you may have seen. As with all my videos, I'm not gonna give you a magic yes or no answer, but I am gonna make you aware of some of the things that you might be missing. Hey, I'm Angela at MBA Protocol. If you're new here, this is MBA Monday. I have helped thousands of people get into top MBA programs like Harvard, Wharton, Stanford, Booth, INSEAD, and London Business School, among many others. And I've also had many conversations in which I talked really smart people out of applying to business school because it truly wasn't the right fit for them and their career dreams. So when people are asking, does the MBA still have an ROI in 2026? They're usually asking the wrong question. The better question is, given my background, my goals, and my specific alternatives, does the MBA deliver enough value to justify the investment for me personally? And that is inherently a subjective question, the answer to which depends entirely upon you and your goals and your background and your alternatives. Let's set the stage quickly. Tuition at top MBA programs has crept upwards of $90,000 to $100,000 per year. So total full-time MBA 2-year tuition costs, when you factor in living expenses, travel expenses, and all the other things that you have to pay for during the 2 years of your MBA, and excluding the opportunity cost of lost earnings and wages while you're studying full-time, you're looking at an investment of anywhere from $200,000 to $250,000 or even $300,000 over the course of your MBA program. At the same time, while post-MBA salaries at top schools are high, and I mean top schools like the M7 or top 15 US MBA programs, they're not doubling year over year. So you really want to think in terms of a low to mid six-figure salary post-MBA, including bonuses, with a wide variation across different industries and geographies. But a really good post-MBA salary scenario is approaching $200,000, at the very most $300,000, but more likely in the high $100,000 range post-MBA. So the old narrative of go to any top 20 MBA program and 3x your salary is pretty lazy in 2026. The spread between a great MBA choice and a bad MBA choice has never been greater. Now, it is still true that for some people, the MBA is still the absolute best possible path forward to switch countries, to switch industries, or to get onto a path to leadership that you would otherwise not have access to. For others, especially if you're already in a strong seat with a good upside in your career, the MBA could really just be an expensive way to procrastinate doing the real work that's going to get you to where you want to go. So this question is more important than ever if you're planning to apply to business school in 2026. Let's talk about MBA ROI mistakes. Most of the people I speak with are making one of these 3 mistakes in considering whether the MBA is worth it for them. Mistake number 1, only looking at the tuition rather than the total cost. You look at $90K and you think, that's a lot, but I'll be fine. When you do that, you're ignoring the 2 years of income you won't be earning, the years of experience, bonuses, promotions, and equity that you're leaving behind, and then all of the moving costs and lifestyle creep when you're living in an MBA bubble. And let me tell you, from what my clients say, and even from my own personal experience, the expenses that surround the MBA are much higher than you think. So your real investment isn't just the sticker price of the MBA, it's all the total costs plus the income and career progression that you're walking away from during those 2 years. So when you're calculating your MBA ROI, be sure to include all of those costs. The second mistake I see people make with their MBA ROI is assuming that all MBA paths are equal. For example, a 26-year-old engineer looking to pivot into Bain, BCG, or McKinsey is looking at one ROI trajectory versus a 33-year-old VP already making a solid six figures. Same degree, possibly even the same exact school, totally different starting point, exit options, and ROI calculation. And the third biggest mistake I see is ignoring the no MBA or a not yet MBA possible scenario. They're comparing the MBA versus nothing instead of the MBA now versus the MBA later, versus just doubling down on your current career trajectory, investing in other skill development on the job or in online trainings that will amplify your ability to have an impact and create value and therefore command a higher salary in the long run. If you don't model the realistic best case scenario of staying on your current trajectory, you'll accidentally make the MBA look like a better choice than it might actually be for you personally. So how do you actually answer the ROI question in 2026? At a high level, you need to do three things. First, you need to get brutally honest about your starting point. What's your current compensation, your trajectory, and the promotions you can expect if you stay the course and work hard. Second, you need to map the realistic exit paths for the schools that you're targeting. Don't look at fantasy jobs. Look at the jobs and roles that people with your background actually landed coming out of the MBA programs that you're looking at. If you want to grab our free, super awesome MBA career placement report, head on over to this link right here and grab the most detailed analysis available of where MBAs from top programs go after school so that you can get a really clear picture of the options that are going to be presented to you after your own MBA program. Then third, you need to put real numbers against both paths for the next 5 to 10 years and calculate the actual expected return on the MBA investment. This is where the oh wow moments usually happen. But here's the thing. If this were easy to do sitting on your sofa alone one weekend, you wouldn't be agonizing over the decision. But the fact is, you kind of need MBA math to figure out whether the MBA is actually worth it for you or not. An ROI calculation is one of the first things that you're going to learn in your financial investments program during your own MBA. You don't need another generic pros and cons list. You need a structured way to run your own numbers, challenge your assumptions, and run your conclusion by someone who does this all day long to say, yes, this logic holds up, or no, you've missed a couple of really important factors in your decision. I'm not going to walk you through the whole framework or calculator here. That's what we're doing live with a small group starting next week. If you want to actually do your MBA ROI calculation properly with me, starting next week in my new community, the MBA Momentum Club, we're running a live 14-day challenge called Is an MBA Right for Me? The 14-day MBA ROI and Decision Sprint.
Yep.
Together over 2 weeks, we will build your MBA ROI calculation and pressure test your assumptions so that you can walk away with a very clear yes, no, or not yet decision and a 12-month plan to advance your career through the MBA or without one. If you're MBA curious or you're on the fence or you're committed but nervous about the investment and you want to stop guessing, use the link in the description to join the March cohort of the MBA Momentum Club. And whether you join us or not, don't outsource this decision to rankings, Reddit, and vibes. The ROI question in 2026 is answerable. You just have to be willing to do the real math, which is really good preparation for the MBA math you're going to be doing for the next 2 years if you apply and get into school. I am rooting for you, whether you're planning to apply to business school or not. If you are and you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video, and I'll be right back here next week. Hey, I'm Angela from MBA Protocol. If you're, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like this through the whole video. What do you really think about that? So you want to